ReliefFactor.com studios, here's Mike.
What do you think the mainstream media would be doing today to a Donald Trump defense secretary who went into the hospital for an elective procedure, wound up in the intensive care unit for days, and they didn't tell anybody? Nobody knew. Nobody was aware of it. Greta Van Susteren, who's still doing a lot of work, I see her on social media, she just posted on X, the Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin, and his staff need to be replaced immediately. Not informing the White House and Biden about Austin in the ICU until Thursday? Why didn't Austin's security notify anyone? His deputy is on vacation, didn't know about it? Right now, the USA is involved in military actions around the world. There are two wars, Israel and Ukraine. Greta writes, even my news org knows where I am at all times. It's part of the job to be on call. I was thinking about that about my job. That would be like me going away, not telling anybody why, and nobody knows why I'm off for a week or two or three. And believe me, I'm not nearly as important as the defense secretary. I was talking to Mark Davis this morning. If you missed my M&M experience with him this morning in Dallas-Fort Worth, we always post it every single day on the Mike Gallagher Show podcast. You can go to mikeonline.com. We call it the M&M experience. We often play it back for you as time allows. But Mark seemed shocked that I said the only explanation for Lloyd Austin's scandal, and this is a scandal, there's no other way to describe this. The defense secretary is in the ICU for days and the president doesn't know it? The defense secretary is in ICU for days and his own deputy doesn't know it? The defense secretary is in the hospital for days and the American people don't know it? We pay him. We pay his salary. He works for us. And if the defense secretary has got something that went wrong medically, this is not an easy time on the world stage. Incidentally, and I apologize, Greta is not just, I said she was doing different work online. She's also on Newsmax. Greta Van Susteren, I believe, is now doing a daily show on Newsmax. Thanks, Dallas, for pointing that out on the text line. That's why I love this text line. I get instant feedback, blink of an eye. I may not always get it from my crack staff, but you're always catching that kind of oversight on my part. So thank you for your text, and feel free to text us at 800-655-MIKE if you hear something that I've said that I miss. I said to Mark this morning, well, there's only one explanation. There's an embarrassment factor to whatever his elective surgical procedure was. Mark seemed surprised by that. What other explanation could there be? Why wouldn't the defense secretary's office notify the president that the defense secretary had an ear procedure, an inner ear surgery or something, or some elective? What other explanation could there be to nobody knowing why he's in the intensive care unit? Honest to gosh, I'm going to turn it over to you. 1-800-655-MIKE. What do you think the elective surgery was that he's so embarrassed by? Because that's the only explanation. By the way, if I'm wrong, prove me wrong. Tell me what I'm missing. What else could it be why they've kept this a big secret? And we still don't know why he's in the hospital. He's the United States Secretary of Defense. This is one of the most important positions in the country. You think the president could go off to the hospital, wind up in the ICU, and his team doesn't know, and the American people don't know? So think about it. And by the way, please spare me the sex change stuff or the reassignment surgery. He's not transitioning. It's not a sex change. It's not a gender. He's not transitioning to become a woman. Give me a legitimate surgery that someone would be embarrassed by Believe me, if it was transitioning surgery, they'd be screaming it to the mountaintops. That'd be something to be proud of. They wouldn't be trying to keep that a secret. So give me what you think the surgery is that Lloyd Austin is evidently so embarrassed by that nobody in the world knows what it was. And again, there can be no other explanation other than they're very embarrassed by what that surgery was. And I don't want to be gross here. I don't want to get graphic, but I'm thinking hemorrhoid, maybe gastric bypass. There's whatever it was, maybe a nose job, maybe a facelift. There's something, if it's true that the president himself, who is reportedly livid at the turn of events, wasn't informed. There is something that Lloyd Austin was getting done surgically that he's so embarrassed about that he doesn't want anybody to know. Tell me what you think it is. 800-655-MIKE. And I'm going to tell you right now, I know it's the transitioning surgery. That was what was dominating social media over the weekend. Now, don't even call me with that. That's a waste of time. But there is something. It's got to be something that he's embarrassed about.